The clairvoyance of being press is limited, and so we rely on press releases. There isn't really many emails to really talk about. To use an example, PAX East was last weekend, and as things to talk about, there's not that much going by. Just googling PAX East and going to the news tab, most of it is about cosplayers. Most of the stuff that happened at PAX East was just talking about games that are going to be coming out this year, or games that are getting editions that are coming out this year. I think the best example to have is this Games Radar post that says 5 things we learned at PAX East 2017. The first one being Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the next essential Nintendo Switch game. Obviously, it's Nintendo's library of games coming out at all, or big budget titles that are worth buying, at the moment consist of one game, and it has premium Gwent cards are intense. Obviously, because the operative part of that phrase is premium, which means bought. Final Fantasy 15 DLC story expansions are not off to a great start. Well, I think Final Fantasy 15 didn't get off to much of a great start, really, by my sort of thoughts. I don't think it was as popular as some of the other ones. I think the Final Fantasy game everyone's waiting for is Final Fantasy VII Remastered. And finally, you need to pay attention to Adult Swim games. I could have told you that. We reviewed Rise and Shine months ago. And so we're going to go right in and talk about the releases that were released through Games Press. Most people who want to know already would know by now, and the ones that is probably going to be the most popular thing is Psyonix has revealed their new stuff, their new game mode that's coming to Rocket League, and it's Drop Shot. From what's been shown, it's like a netball thing, really. It's a netball style thing. They had a basketball thing that worked very well. They've had the football things going on very well, and so they've had basically a lot of this stuff going on, a lot of these very varied styles of play going in as well, which has always been very interesting. And now they have basically a netball style thing. But here at the bottom they say, in addition to Drop Shot, the latest update will also include 6 new achievements and trophies, an all-new esports Live Now button for official streams, and end the competitive Season 3 and the start of competitive Season 4. Players who competed in the 3rd season will be granted exclusive wheel rewards based on their highest competitive skill tier reached. So there is more to this than just another game mode. There's more achievements, and they're boosting the esports stuff and starting their new in-house esports season. And looking towards new games, there is a new game company announcing a new game. As it says here, operating under the radar for nearly the last year, Frostkeep Studios was created by 3 game developers, Solomon Lee, Matt Milzier, and Jeremy Wood, who met 15 years ago working together on the original World of Warcraft. Over the last year, Frostkeep Studios has assembled a talented team of game developers and contractors, including Overwatch composer Neil Acree, to contribute to the creation of the studio's first game, Rend. As for talking about Rend, they say, in Rend, players will align with one of 3 factions before they're dropped into a beautiful but brutal fantasy world where they must strategically team up with other players and friends to battle enemy creatures and rival factions in a relentless competitive race towards ascension. It does have a Steam Early Access page, and I have had a look at the game, and it seems relatively interesting. It seems relatively MMO-ish, which is really surprising considering the 3 big-name developers that is being touted around by the company is former World of Warcraft developers, and so I am relatively interested. As long as it sort of steers relatively clear from the world deathmatch style of like H1Z1 Rust, to the point where the biggest hindrance you can end up having is logging out of the game to sleep. But this game seems quite interesting because it has the PvP elements, but also has the PvE elements as well. So, yeah, I am kind of interested to see how this one works out. And to end off, we have one here from Funstock. They are a book publisher, and they have published books before showing the artistry and the art of some of the old retro games, or books just talking about the older games. And they have a new book coming out called NES Famicom, a visual compendium, a book that looks at the artistry and style of the old NES. As for what the book has, Andy Pearson, the general manager of Funstock, says, This book showcases everything that gamers loved about the NES and Famicom. It's got superb photography, exciting bespoke pixel art that features gaming's favourites like Mario and Zelda, and is all underpinned by a range of really interesting features about each console. Fans of the NES Famicom have now something very special they can enjoy for years to come. And as for what's inside it, they say it's got 500 pages of very best pixel art, 100 game reviews, quotes from various developers and artists, as well as interviews, particular features on it, as well as being available in soft and hardback. I always like it when books like this come out because knowing the history of gaming and knowing the history of what came before, as well as the stylistic differences of then to now, I've always thought it's actually very important. So whenever these books come out, it always makes me very happy that there is still a concentration on these retro games and retro consoles. And to round off the episode, and as it is the beginning of the week, here is the Chart Track All Formats UK chart, again supplied by UKIE Limited. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands has shot into number 1. That, combined with the previous leaders of Horizon Zero Dawn and Legends of Zelda, is knocked Grand Theft Auto 5 down to number 5 for once, out of the top 3. Is the reign of GTA 5 finished? Probably not. It's out on every console. But one thing I'm quite glad about is LEGO Worlds number 3. I am going to be reviewing that on Friday, so keep an eye out on Friday. There's going to be at least a video coming out on Friday of me actually talking about LEGO Worlds. And here is the list of games that are going to be released this week. We have Phantom Hall for PC, Tiny Striker World Football for Android, VR Sports for PC, Dead Rising 4 for PC, Go-Go Electric Samurai for PC, Red Button and the Sky Pirates for Android, iOS, Mac and PC, Stick Shard of Darkness for PC, PS4 and Xbox One, Trove for PS4 and Xbox One, Virexian for Android and iOS, Catatomic Cat Space Program for Android and iOS, Dimension Jump for PC, Waking the Glares for PC Online, The Keep for PC, Nier Automata for PC, Too Dark for PC, PS4 and Xbox One, Antagonist for PC, Danganronpa 1.2 Reloaded for PS4, Flat Out 4 Total Insanity for PS4 and Xbox One, Mimodora Revere Under the Moonlight for Xbox One, Senran Gagra Isvis Versus for PC, probably saying that wrong, and Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters Daybreak Special Gigs for PC. And so, thank you for watching. I hope you found this episode informative. If you did, consider subscribing and sharing the video around, and I will see you on Friday for the next Press Rush.